promised, we're back from Bathurst for another Penrite Insight, and I'm joined by Jack Bell, Car 910 race engineer today. So Jack, we had some pretty mixed weather on Friday for practice. Give us your thoughts on how the day planned out for the 19.
Yeah, obviously it's Bathurst. Changeable conditions are always treacherous, especially across the top. So yeah, it was good for the drivers, I think, to experience that. It meant that our run plans didn't quite fall into place how we wanted them to, so we weren't able to cycle through as many changes as we wanted, especially on the practice 2. But for me, the key takeaway was the drivers came out of that session, especially Matt, the Friday. Good confidence, like he was in the top 10 in both practices, so that's always good for them to go to bed that night feeling like they're in a pretty good place. They've got a good base car underneath them before they roll into quali.
I guess, and speaking of quali, it was looking like going to be a good lap.
Yeah, that was pretty disappointing, but that's how it rolls. It's such fine margins, and like we saw probably the closest margins in qualifying at Bathurst I think we've seen for a while. So yeah, we were on for a really solid result there. For me, it looked like we were going P2 as we approached the last corner. Little mistake from Matt, pushing to the limit, doing everything he can to execute in qualifying. We learned from that and moved on.
So first race of the year, and we've moved forward from 14th to 10th.
Yeah, it was pretty good for considering how sort of few passes happened in the race. I think it showed that we had a pretty good race car package underneath us. Matt did a really great job at the start. I was really happy with him there. He's been working on that. But then, yeah, being able to move forward a few during the race. Unfortunately, we had to go with the setup and the strategy. Didn't quite play out how we wanted it to. So that stopped us from getting the even more positions. But for us, we had a good day moving forward when not many people were able to, so gave us good confidence going into the Sunday.
So first race of the year, and we move forward from 14th to 10th.
Yeah, it was a good first race. Didn't execute the ultimate performance, I don't think. I think our race was very much dictated by the strategy. Didn't fall into our hands per se.
Didn't get that clean air in the middle stint like we were working towards.
Exactly. Supercars, very much clean air racing. Definitely pays back, and Bathurst is not immune to that. So yeah, when we came out and we were right up with other cars, that sort of stamped any further progress for us to be able to make. Matt did a good job off the start, however, made a lot of spots there, and that dictated our sort of final position. So ultimately, strategy didn't play off. We had a fast car, but we weren't able to use it.
So on to Sunday quali, and we probably didn't execute across the whole team as we would have liked, and yet 13th. So how does that set us up for race 2 strategy-wise?
Yeah, definitely wasn't ideal, that qualifying result. We really thought we could be in the 10 on that day. We showed good performance the day before. But then in terms of strategy, we'd started from a very similar position the race before, and unfortunately the strategy didn't play off at that point. We decided to make the call that we wanted to go with a very similar strategy for this next race. So pitted early, and to Matt's credit, he executed on his part really well. We pitted, came out in clear air, and we had about 10 laps of nice, beautiful, crisp, clear air. It was fantastic. And Matt did some fantastic lap times in that middle portion of the stint. We just pressed on, and that's pretty much what dictated our big position gain from P13 up to 7th.
Yeah, it's great to move forward that far.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we wanted to do the day before. We thought we had the race pace to achieve that the day before. So that was the strategy we wanted, and it executed how we wanted. So yeah, really good job by Matt and the team. Pit stops were fantastic, so good all round.
Yeah, cool. And some good racing we saw, particularly when Randall came out of the pits.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a surprise to us. Matt had been doing a fantastic job all by himself, and when he was sort of 10 laps or so into his stint, yeah, Randall popped out, pretty much the same place on the track as us. Went side by side up Mountain Straight. Matt managed to get him before Griffins. And then we're on pretty different race strategies than Randall at the time, but it just showed the power of that strategy that we played. We were able to gain so many track positions just by driving in nice clean air. So,
thanks for joining us on the latest Penrite Insight, and tune in for the next episode where we catch up with Al and talk about Car 26 and Richie.